The month of May explodes in Boston Wrestling MWF. Joining us for the first time in studio will be ECW icon New Jack, Saturday, May the 8th, taping episodes of Wrestling Insiders in a special live episode with a cyber autograph signing. Then Saturday, May the 22nd, Sunday, May the 23rd, the legendary Demolition Axe, the Masked Superstar, one half of the greatest tag team in WWE history, joins us for 2 days of Wrestling Insider tapings in a live cyber autograph signing with photos already signed by Demolition Smash. It's going to be a month to remember. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com. Pre-order your 8x10 photos now and help keep wrestling legends working.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Mirade.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
At Night of Champions 2020, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns successfully defended the WWE Universal Championship against his cousin, Jey Uso, in a must-see battle. Here is your chance to own a piece of Roman Reigns moments before battle on this beautiful limited edition autographed 11x14 poster direct from friends at WWE. It's number 19 of only 50 made. Includes WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself, suitable for framing and matting. You'll also receive a bonus Legends autographed 8x10 photo in an on-air shout-out on Wrestling Insiders as our thanks for helping keep wrestling legends working. Get this ultra-rare Roman Reigns autograph poster now.
Cheer. Why, hello. I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product. So support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders Current Events. I'm Dan Mirade. We'll be joined by Dave Carter in just a moment. It's a chilly spring afternoon here at downtown Melrose, Massachusetts. The zip code of Champion 02176. But have no fear, a monster May is ahead, folks. Let me tell you, this Saturday night, Live, the hardcore legend himself from ECW that was unable to join us at Wrestle House New Jack, is going to be here live in studio taping historical Wrestling Insider tapings. We're going to do some watch-alongs and, of course, have a cyber autograph signing where you can get an autographed 8x10 personalized to you any way you like it. Get a shout-out. We'll have a lot of fun on the air with that. I know, Dave, you are looking forward to that a great deal.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be crazy, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially speaking to an ECW legend, someone I grew up watching. I think it's going to be fantastic. Fans need to definitely get an autograph, sign up, do your thing. Can they buy them off the Boston Wrestling website?
BostonWrestling.com, baby. We got some pictures up there now.
Do it now. I would do it now.
Pre-order it. Why not get it done in advance, right?
Exactly. And then you can just enjoy them live, ask questions, not even worried about the 8x10.
And that's not the only live endeavors we have in the month of May, Dave. As you know, we're going to be back for WrestleMania Backlash Sunday night, May the 16th. That's always a lot of fun. We have some laughs. We talk some wrestling. Hopefully, we'll get to see some good matches on the pay-per-view. And then the weekend after that, it is a doubleheader of sorts, is the legendary Demolition Axe, a.k.a. the Masked Superstar, will be joining us for not one, but two big nights. Saturday, May the 22nd, Sunday, May the 23rd. Axe, again, was also supposed to join us at Wrestle House, but he and his family were going to have some vacation time after WrestleMania weekend, and it turned into a Clark Griswold-like day for Axe. So we're going to be a much more relaxed atmosphere when he is with us in the month of May. And, of course, folks, we had a brutal month of April, as I mentioned. Our time in Tampa was a lot of fun. It was very productive. We got a lot accomplished, but it killed our metrics for the months, and we really need to rebound in May in a big way. The one way you can do that very easily is by not just being a fan, not just being a friend, but by joining the Boston Wrestling Sports family. Over on Patreon, we get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider studio shoot interviews each week, where you get access to our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, as seen by millions online, millions more on The Howard Stern Show. We're going to have a brand new Iron Sheik DVD for you guys, probably within the next week or so. You get some Patreon exclusive content. We're going to be doing watch-alongs with New Jack in Axe that'll be available to Patreons only. So much more, and you have the knowledge that knowing that you yourself are helping keep wrestling legends working. You can find out all the info on how to join at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. I think you'll love it. Again, patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Don't be a stranger. Tell a friend. Tell a few thousand. Even better. All right, on to the... Oh, my God, I don't even know the dates. Would it be the May the 3rd, 2021 edition of Monday Night Raw?
Yes, sir. It was May 3rd, 2021.
All right, Mr. Carter, I pass the baton to you.
We kicked it off with the video package that, between Drew, Bobby, and Braun. And then we started off with probably your favorite segment of the night, seeing Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville, and MVP backstage. Yeah. They were there for the coin toss for who fights Bobby. Honestly, I didn't even understand this, because why do you want to fight Bobby if it's not for the title anyways, right?
Yeah, a little common sense. I would want to save my
why wouldn't you want to be fresh for WrestleMania Backlash? You could get in, you know what I mean? Common sense.
Save all your energy for the big one when the gold is on the line.
Right. Drew and Braun show up. They start arguing back and forth. They end up flipping the coin. Braun wins and will face Bobby Lashley. It was different, but it didn't make much sense to me. What about you?
Like I just said, it just everything that's wrong with the show, the lack of the common sense that went into that segment. Now, if they were going to come up with the train of thought where, okay, all three of them are going to wrestle each other in different singles matches, different weeks, headed into the pay-per-view. You were going to get Braun Bobby, you're going to get Braun McIntyre, you're going to get McIntyre Lashley. So everybody wrestles twice in the confines of the main event of the pay-per-view. Okay, that makes a little sense to me. The way this was executed made no sense to me, and apparently Nobody cared, as we'll probably see in the ratings when they come out tonight. That remains to be seen. I have not seen them yet. I could be proven wrong.
Yep. I don't know. Like I said, I had no idea why you'd want to do this either. But moving on, we had AJ Styles and Omos, the returning tag team champions, Raw tag team champions. They are to Raw, Monday Night Raw. They both talk about their win over the New Day at WrestleMania. AJ asked the WWE Universe if they missed them. Then they went to party. The reason why they were gone is they went to party over in the Caribbean and all these different places, and that's why they haven't been on Raw. AJ Styles points out that he was the Grand Slam champion. New Day interrupts them. Kofi says, I didn't know you guys even worked here anymore. You haven't been on Raw or been around for a long time. But basically, they said they worked their butt off when they were the tag team champions, in that they defended them. They didn't take days off and all that, which is true. I don't know the backstory on why AJ and Omos wasn't there. I don't know if you do. Maybe when you can talk, you can tell us why. They talk about and then Kofi starts talking about his WWE title run at WrestleMania and how it was such a great accomplishment for him. He had his kids and all that. Omos says after he's done with them tonight, they both won't be able to walk. I thought it was a way too long promo. It started going off course when Kofi started talking about his WrestleMania run by himself when it's supposed to be a tag team. I just thought the promo was a mess. What did you think?
Again, it defies common sense. I mean, what are we looking at? Maybe 2-3 years ago, where AJ, was when he was the champion, was pushed as this tremendous family man with all his kids and his wife Wendy, the school teacher, and so on and so forth. And Samoa Joe was trying to break into his home. Now, Samoa Joe may need a place to crash at this point, but it's just no one believes it. No one buys into it, so why bother? I was told there's a few people, I guess, that are anti-vaccine. I don't know if AJ and Omos fit into that category, and they weren't in a rush to throw them on television if they avoided the vaccine. I have no idea if that has anything to do with those two specifically, but I know it was an issue with some of the talents. It's actually been an issue here at the studio, but that's a different story for a different time.
I got mine.
I good for you. I'm proud of you. But again, I don't know how long they knew they were going to be away for, but it was a perfect chance to try and build up New Day, is excited about having a championship rematch. It was a great chance to build up New Day, maybe training, focused, maybe saying we thought too much about pancakes and comedy.
Yep.
Now we want our titles back. We got embarrassed at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, where the last time there was a live crowd, it was Kofi Mania. They really could have presented it as something important with the build-up for a couple of weeks, but instead last week they were throwing fucking tomatoes at Miz and Morrison and Elias, and so the match meant absolutely nothing, because if New Day doesn't care about their championship opportunity or having a chance to get back at AJ and Omos at some point, why would the fans care if the wrestlers don't?
Right, exactly. I don't know. When he started, I just thought if they're going to do these kind of promos, make them quick, man. We've already seen,
AJ isn't a great promo.
Right, and it just started going on, and he's talking about his chance. It's like, come on. And like you said, I love that, what you just said. Have them build it up to where they're actually training, working their butt off to get back there, since they knew they were going to be gone for a little bit. It could have been something, a little bit to the story, but nope. Instead, we don't get that. We get them throwing tomatoes.
I wanted to throw a tomato at the TV if it meant anything.
There you go. From there, we get the match, the Raw Tag Team title match. AJ Styles and Omos versus Woods and Kofi. Decent match. It is what it was. I didn't think it was bad. There was one spot when Kofi dove to the outside of the ring. I don't know if he caught this, and landed straight on his back. It looked like AJ almost forgot to be where he was and try to help him land, but he basically landed right on the back. Oh, it looked pretty brutal. That's when they went to commercial too. So I was like, okay, maybe there was a little something there.
Yeah, again, talk about the lack of thought that goes into it. You have a guy that just dove over the top rope, missed his opponents completely, landed on the floor, in theory could be counted out and lose the match. Okay, we'll be back after this brief
Right.
timeout, and they go to a commercial break, therefore eliminating the thought of a count-out being the finish of the match, which I absolutely detest and hate. Every time they're outside of the ring and it could be a possible count-out finish, they go to a commercial break.
Right, exactly, because you know the commercial's longer than 10 seconds. You don't know what's going. It's like, come on. But I don't know. They had this spot where they just repeatedly kicking AJ. They like must have went around the row 3 or 4 times. I thought, all right, this is unique. This is a little different. I mean, it is what it is. I just try to pick parts about the match because we've already seen it. And I don't know. They didn't build it up, so it was just a match, really. Like I said, it was a decent match. Almost as a beast, man. If he can actually learn how to work a little bit, I think he could do something in the business other than just being this big dude.
He
AJ
seems
and
a little slim to me, but I think if he kind of beefed up, I think it
you
would
know
help
what
the
it reminds
cause.
of? Like a skinnier version of a Shaq.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy.
AJ and Omos win by pinfall, so they retain their titles. What did you think of the match?
I would have had AJ and Omos just cut the promo and have them kind of have a confrontation with New Day and either have it next week on Raw or have it at WrestleMania Backlash. You know me. I hate when matches are just thrown together with no thought, no rhyme, no reason, no contract signed, no WWE official making the match. But the work itself, it was good. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with AJ or Kofi or Woods. I mean, Omos is still a work in progress, and
Right on.
they're kind of working around his limitations, which is very smart. I mean, I'm not going to knock a guy that's brand new that's still learning the ropes. Should he still be at the Performance Center learning instead of on TV? You could make that argument, but if they are going to put him out there as a physical presence, a physical threat, work around the limitations. Whatever positives that he does bring, give him those few spots to shine and just limit the damage that could be done by exposing that he's not ready.
Right on. I can't disagree. From there, we're backstage. Sonya's talking to Charlotte.
Ugh.
Pierce ends up coming over and says, "You're overstepping your boundaries lately. You should have sent me a text." She's like, "Oh, maybe I didn't have service in the building." Just this whole spew
Yeah.
about crap. I don't really understand what they're getting at. Why isn't Sonya wrestling? I don't even know. I mean, I know you don't care, but I'm just saying, what is her point in this role? Can she not wrestle anymore? I don't get it.
I know it's SummerSlam. I think it wasn't the original storyline. I think it was their hair was on the line.
Yes, that was it. Yeah,
Right,
that was
yeah. And when they had that home break-in, when her opponent at SummerSlam happened to be having a sleepover, I think it was her lawyer, because of the legal proceedings going on, didn't want to have Sonya show up with a shaved head. I don't know what difference it would make where her home was broken into and a guy showed up with a knife and duct tape ready to kidnap her. But, personally, that's traumatic for anybody. Professionally, I have no idea why she's on the show. I really wouldn't want to see her wrestle. I don't have any interest in her as an authority figure or whatever the hell it is that she's supposed to be doing. She is not well spoken. She does not recite the lines well, I guess maybe is a good way to put it. She kind of stumbles over herself a little bit. She is not authentic. She is not believable. Flat out, the presentation of her right now sucks, is uninteresting, unengaging. The fans do not care.
right on. I didn't know. You like how she matches her suits with the color brand she's on, though?
I didn't really. My thought was more towards she looked like Sinister Minister James Mitchell.
I
But,
was
maybe
just
she
gonna say
is
that.
Raw. Okay.
Oh
Maybe
my
that's why
God.
she wore red.
I was just going to say that to you. I was going to be like, and she had also looked like James Mitchell from ECW and TNA.
On SmackDown, did she always wear blue? I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah, she's been doing it.
Oh,
at least.
okay.
That's why.
All right. Well, you know what? I give her credit for trying to stay, try and stay in the moment.
Right on.
So you know what? As I just absolutely destroyed about everything she does, I will give her credit for staying in the moment with the color of her clothes.
Right on. From there, we're backstage again. MVP and Bobby are there. MVP says Braun was unlucky winning the coin toss because now he has to face the freak of nature, Bobby Lashley. He's not going to let anyone take the WWE Championship, Bobby says. And I don't know. I don't even know what to say about these anymore because they're just like, you know
They
what I'm
suck.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no purpose of these promos. Like, Why can't we just have a nice story building up to the nice triple threat match at WrestleMania Backlash? You know what I mean? No, we have to have these promos. This match for a coin toss. This match. So what's next week? What Drew's gonna do? You know, what's he gonna? I mean, yeah. Actually, at the end of the night, we do find out. We'll talk about it out. You know,
Wiz, you know what they need is a little Vince Russo to sizzle up the storyline.
Thank you.
You know what? You know, like I said, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I would have him around simply to help generate ideas. Nothing more, nothing less. Because if they went with a Vince Russo storyline, it may have a very interesting beginning, but the middle and the end would either be non-existent or it would just be horrific. But as far as him creating the storyline itself, I'd love to see what direction he would have gone in with these three and what is a very boring, uninteresting main event on paper headed into the pay-per-view. Back to you, Mr. Carter.
Right on. Speaking of him, I mean, every interview I always hear about people, they always say as much as crap as he gets, he always tried to have something for everybody on the card. Which, you know what? That's great. Because this is junk, man. These people just put people on the card for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
It's terrible. I mean, is there anyone really interested in seeing this triple threat match at WrestleMania Backlash? You know I love Bobby. I love Bobby the wrestler. I like Bobby the person very, very, very much from the times he was here with us in Boston Wrestling MWF. But it just seems like, you know what? We have another pay-per-view. What main event can we slap together? I mean, there's no point to it. There's really no interest in it. There's no great vendetta between the three of them. I'm not interested in it. I'd love to know what the fans think. And fans, I'm going to pass the baton to you really quick. If you're watching during the premiere tonight, let us know what you think. Are you excited about this main event at WrestleMania Backlash? Are you not excited about it? What would you do with these three men? If you're not watching live, you can always put your comments in the comment section below. But back to you, Dave.
If that was uninteresting, I don't know how you feel about this. We're gonna get the return of Evolution coming back to the WWE. Eva Marie. Other than she is a beautiful, 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 beautiful woman.
Correct.
I don't know what she adds to the women's division other than now she's gonna be getting a paycheck probably. I don't really know. I don't know what she's gonna do. She's going to add ice because she's beautiful, but other than that, I don't think she's going to bring anything to the product. Someone
that wrestles in WWE told me she was down. I don't know if training is the right word, but she was down at the PC around my birthday, back in September or the fall or something like that.
Yeah, because she's what do you call working with that kid that looks like Brock Lesnar, Parker Bordeaux.
She's working with him?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I guess she's the one who found him and everything and brought him to the WWE.
Well, this could be her thank you. This could be the Paul Ellering of...
I know she has a lot to do with him because I read about it and everything. So I don't know if she's going to be with him, but I know she brought him to the PC and brought him to WWE's attention. Well, I know that because I read the whole story.
I do not know this to be fact, but that's going to be my educated guess, is that where Paul Ellering got a job for himself and a developmental deal for his daughter as a result of helping WWE with a tape they located. I'm going to think that Eva Marie is on the Paul Ellering deal.
Why isn't Rachel Ellering in WWE? She's friggin' fantastic. I don't get it. Someone that can actually work is an impact. Like, I don't know. Blows my mind. But anyways, we're backstage.
Can I honestly answer that?
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's because she looks like Paul Ellering.
Stop it. Stop it.
But am I wrong?
I mean, I don't think she's
Am
bad
I wrong?
looking.
She looks like Paul Ellering.
Bad looking. I think she's a woman.
Well,
the thing is that you're always complaining about them not being able to work. She can actually work. So you know what? Maybe she's not the best looker, but if she can work and have a good match, maybe you'd be like, all right, well, so-and-so had a good match.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be fair. I'll be fair about that. As far as the women wrestlers goes, she was solid.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, we're backstage again. This was another a promo-heavy Raw, which we'll come to find out. But we're backstage. Kofi Woods and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are backstage. Elias and Jackson are shown with tomatoes. They start throwing them at them, and
Oh.
it ends up hitting Randy Orton. He's not happy at all. Yeah.
He goes from that feud at WrestleMania to having tomatoes thrown at him by Elias.
What I want to know is, what does Randy Orton even think about this? Like, is he just look at it and be like, man, I'm just glad I'm making a lot of money?
I'm making my $3 million.
You know, like, 'cause honestly, what the hell?
How do you get excited about showing up for work and being given a script, and this is what I'm doing this week? I mean, come on.
Right
I
on.
realize there is such a small roster. There aren't many different people for him to work with. But this? Come
The thing is,
on. Come
there's
on.
so much damn talent out there that they just, I don't know, they let go of the good guys like a Samoa Joe. Why? EC3, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, guys that can actually do stuff, and they put this, I don't know. Anyways, moving on, we get Charlotte Flair versus Dana Brooke with Mandy. Quick match, Charlotte wins by submission. Mandy ends up interfering, and then Sonya comes out. They go to commercial. Sonya's in the ring with Charlotte. She allows Charlotte to make a proposal. She's upset she was left out of the triple threat title match. She was left out of the title opportunity. Starts going through her accolades. She is an influencer, the face of the women's division. The division needs
No pun intended.
she needs to be added to the WrestleMania Backlash match. Sonya says the men's have a triple threat match, so you know what? You will be added to the women's match. Rhea comes out, not happy about it. Nobody likes you, Charlotte, she said. Then Asuka comes out. Asuka says, this is crap. Charlotte is a baby. And then she starts crying like a baby, whatever. She's ready to, and then Asuka says she's ready to become Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte says she will be walking out as Raw's Women's Champion. They all stop brawling, and we go to commercial break.
Horrible brawl.
That was the first hour of Raw. I don't know. The first hour looked hopefully it could get better from there. This was a long promo, a long segment after a quick match. Why even have the match then? I don't know.
Why have any of it? I mean, nothing was good. The match sucked. The promo sucked. The brawl afterwards sucked to try and make you interested in the pay-per-view itself. Charlotte and her new face were there, even though I guess she doesn't have a new face because she's having a vendetta with Dave Meltzer commenting on whatever it was she had done. To me, she looks like a different person. She still wrestles the same, which I guess is a good thing. The match itself, I hate triple threat matches, as you know, but at least you have 3 women that can go that are going to be part of the WrestleMania Backlash title match. So, maybe it has potential to surprise me and be better than I am expecting it to be. Like I said, that brawl at the end left a lot to be desired. It was very, very, very weak. I don't think it made any of them look good. I don't know what you thought about that. I think Sonya's delivery was so bad. It was like a middle school talent show play or something like that. She's just not good at it. But, they didn't ask for my opinion when they were putting the show together, or I would have had a lot of ideas for them on how to change it for the better. And there would be no Sonya Deville. If they, it's like they have no thought as to what to do for the show. So, we'll just make another triple threat match that people will forget about within, a day.
Yeah, right on. I mean, luckily it's going to be 3 good women in it, but...
Yeah, I'll go that far, and I'll agree with you. And I'm not the world's biggest women's wrestling fan.
Watchable. I just hope after whatever happens, it's over with. We move on. We do new stories, something. Who knows? We're backstage again. Humberto Carrillo's talking about how he knows how it's to be bullied, and Sheamus is a bully. He's going to challenge him tonight. Sheamus ends up coming out of nowhere and attacking and beating the crap out of Humberto.
Well, you know what? I told you before, this 1930s look that Sheamus has is a little over my head. I'm not quite sure why it exists the way it does, but
he's like an Irish looking like, what they probably look like back in the like Irish, like back in the day at the bars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
how they look coming off the ship 100 years ago, but it
Right.
is what it is. I'm happy that they're doing something with Carrillo. I think he has a lot of upside. I think he has a lot of potential. I think we did see his limitation last night when he tried to cut the promo, as I had no idea what it was he was trying to say. You know what? In WWE's defense, when they say, they claimed Andrade had a language barrier as far as his promos go. And like I said, we saw Carrillo last night. It was what it was. Where they have so much free time now, why not send them to go and take English classes?
I don't know.
And I'm not saying that to be cruel. I mean, even Asuka, for a year we've heard her scream. God only knows what in Japanese. Last night, she spoke a little English, which was broken, but it was fair enough. Why not send them for English classes?
Oh, I know. I totally agree with you. I don't get it. Maybe they think
if
they're going to learn on the fly.
If it makes them a more valuable commodity, I mean, there's no reason not to. They are under contract. I mean, instead of sending them to the Performance Center to do the same moves ad nauseum over and over and over again with the same people over and over and over again, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, you know what? It's part of the overall package. The verbal game is a big part of what WWE is in 2021, for better or worse. So why not make them the best they can be at it? If it would have helped Andrade reach that top level, you know what? I hate to say it because I'm a big fan of Andrade, but shame on Andrade. He should have taken that leap of faith to improve his English to the point that WWE wanted to push him more. As far as Carrillo goes, I couldn't understand what he was trying to say in that promo. Could you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. That's why I was just agreeing with you. Absolutely. I totally agree.
All right, wrestling fans, that was pretty much the first hour. I don't know if you would have given it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but we implore you, after our rough month of April and we try and go through the roof in May, give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying our inside wrestling talk here on Wrestling Insiders, no pun intended. It costs absolutely nothing other than a little click of the button. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel absolutely free. We have over 2,000 free videos for your enjoyment. Let's show YouTube how much you guys love what it is we're doing. And then, you know what? YouTube shows the videos to more fans. Then more fans will become part of the Boston Wrestling fan base, the Boston Wrestling friendship, the Boston Wrestling family over on Patreon, where you can find the link to in the description box below. It's very important for you guys to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you could, share across your social media on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook wrestling groups, which we're trying to get more active in, wrestling websites. The more fans we have involved in what we do, the more we're going to be able to do for you. Like I said, we have an expensive month coming up in May with New Jack this Saturday night and Demolition Axe coming up, I should say, on May 22nd and May 23rd. If New Jack is a success, he could be back live with us as soon as June. So it's really up to you guys as far as what it is we're going to do and how much we are going to do. I just gave you 3 ways that would not cost you a single penny out of your wallet that would really help us a great deal. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and again, just share the link across social media. Tonight at 10 o'clock, we have another Wrestling Insiders at Your House, a Tony Atlas Classic, where he goes to town on WWF from 1984 to 1986. Very interesting look at how the company was starting to go from not being a regional entity anymore, and it was starting to go national. Some of the celebrities involved, the first 2 WrestleManias, the Saturday night's main events. Tony throws out a little racism dig at Vince McMahon, the John Stossel, David Schultz incident, some really cool stuff. It's a longer episode. Again, tonight at 10 p.m., it's Tony Atlas. Now, back to last night's much more forgettable Monday Night Raw. I don't think 35 years from now we'll be doing a retrospective episode on last night's Raw. Do you?
No, probably not. From there, we got Miz and Morrison come out to the ring. Then we see as they're coming out, they go to commercial. We come back. We have Sonya backstage. Chris comes over and says, "What the hell is that? I sent you a text. it's a decision that I couldn't wait for your approval. And he goes, you need to watch your back and watch what you do. I don't know. They're fighting now. What do you think? They're going to lead to a match?
I don't think there is any interest in any wrestling fan or any fan of sports entertainment that is interesting in a feud or vendetta between Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. I would much rather see the return of our good friend, a man that has helped us here in Boston wrestling, the one and only John Laurinaitis, to have an issue with Adam Pearce as opposed to the lifeless Sonya Deville.
He lost his job.
Well, he got hired back in his other one, so how about his TV
saying,
character too?
His
His TV character could get hired back too. Or Teddy Long, or anybody but this lifeless Sonya Deville.
I would love Vicky.
Well, I think that one's out of the equation right now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying that's who I would love.
Yeah, she'd really be good.
Moving on, we got John Morrison and Miz in the ring. They cut a promo. Talk about getting hit with tomatoes last week. Miz says he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, names a bunch of accolades that he's accomplished and done. And John Morrison says, don't ignore the facts. He basically kept on cutting him off because he's like, talk about me now. And the Miz kept on going on about himself. We get a match. It's John Morrison with the Miz versus Damian Priest. I guess they're still working on this this match, this whole storyline. What are you going to do? Good match, back and forth. Priest ends up winning by pinfall. They're really building up Priest, even though Bad Bunny's not with him anymore, which is good. I hope this ends up being something for Priest, and he doesn't get lost in the storyline.
A mid-card shuffle, so to speak.
There you go. That works even better.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad match. I think if Morrison was presented as the elite athlete that he is, as opposed to a fool, I think the win would have had more meaning for Priest, but you know what, it is what it is.
Right on. From there, we got Mansoor signing a contract with Pierce backstage. Sheamus comes over and tells Pierce, Humberto won't be fighting for the open challenge anymore. Mansoor introduces himself. Sheamus says, you should answer the open challenge tonight and see what you got. So we go from there to that. What do you think of Mansoor?
I don't know anything about him. It's hard for me to say.
Rumble.
What's that now?
He won the greatest Royal Rumble, remember?
He did?
Yeah, remember?
Oh, you're right, he did.
Jeez.
Well, it just shows you how much WWE followed up on how big of a win that was for the man. You think they would have mentioned it last night.
They don't know about that. They forget.
Yeah, I forgot all about that until you just mentioned it.
Remember it was in India or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah, the Kingdom of Jeddah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's good for Mansoor to be back. I know I'm going to wind up saying Monsoon by accident, but I'm glad to have Mansoor in WWE right now representing Raw.
There you go. We're backstage again with MVP. Match tonight shouldn't even be happening. He doesn't deserve
Well, he's not wrong.
match either. I guess they're just stretching to keep this story going. Doesn't make much sense, but that's what it is. From there, this was so crazy to me. They go to commercial, and then they come back, and Lucha House Party and Cedric and Sheldon are already in the ring having a match. I've never seen them do that before. What the hell was that?
I know. Usually they're in the ring sometimes for a good 10 to 15 minutes with several backstage segments.
Or there's already one team in, but the next team gets introduced to some. But they already had the match going. It was just so weird to me, and it pisses me off because there's a lot of good talent in that ring. And
four great talents.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to guess it was a timing issue. Just maybe the show was going a little long or something like that, which happens from time to time. But that's just a guess. I don't know.
Take one of those promos out of there.
No kidding, right?
Like I said, the match was already going on. It was a decent match. Lucha House Party ends up winning by pinfall. And like you've been saying, hopefully Sheldon and Cedric are collecting their checks, keeping them, because this doesn't look good.
No.
Unless they're starting a little storyline with them, because at the end, Cedric's yelling at Sheldon, says, we don't want this anymore. This isn't going to work. You've been here so long, and, basically telling him you haven't done anything. You haven't accomplished anything. Just cuts a hell of a promo on Sheldon. I actually liked it a lot. Cedric says this team is done. I like seeing this side of Cedric, because they're going to turn him heel, whatever they're going to turn him. maybe it adds a little bit more to Cedric. Who knows?
Well, you know, overall, I thought the match was pretty good. I'm still confused as to why they ever put Cedric with the Hurt Business, where it seemed like he was ready to turn on them every week before they got booted out of the faction altogether. And then, well, it looks like he's going to be the heel and Shelton's going to be the baby face. A lot of fans like Shelton. He is one of the great athletes in the history of WWE. A little long in the tooth. I think it's going to make for maybe kind of some odd-looking matches. I'm going to guess that Shelton has probably got a good 8 inches on Cedric. But Cedric's promo was good. It had fire to it. It had a little life to it. I didn't even realize it was him for a second and had so much fire to it at first.
Yep.
I think Cedric's a great talent. I just think him and Shelton is just a little bit of a mismatch just due to the size, one man's opinion, but a shame to see a pretty good tag team go to waste.
Right on. And where they need tag teams.
Right.
But from there, we got Angel Garza backstage with the Rose. Gulak asked him if the Rose is for him. Gulak says, basically, let's have a match right now. And Angel Garza says, at the end of the match, I'm gonna shove this rose up your ass. He says it in that Spanish accent.
No,
I don't
he was
know.
very offended that people questioned his Rose.
I love Gulak, don't get me wrong, but you can't find a spot for Ricochet.
No kidding, right?
Like, why? I don't know. I think about these things when I'm seeing the random guys get brought in, but you don't see a guy like Ricochet, money, potential, could be a superstar.
Could be. He already was. He was more over the day he walked in from NXT than he is now.
Could be just a figure of speech.
Right. No, I get you.
But I
get fired up about that one, though.
No, I get
fired up.
From there, before they go to commercial, we have a happy belated birthday to The Rock.
No, that's
They had to get that in there, hoping somebody will be like, oh, great. I just thought that was kind of funny. Belated birthday.
Please come back, Rock, and save our show for a couple of months. Please do a program at WrestleMania in L.A. with Roman.
Yes, sir. Sheldon backstage. Sheldon says, you know why I survived in this business? Because I take the hit. I can always take the hit. He's the reason why Cedric was in the Hurt Business anyways. And he's going to show Cedric how to basically survive, in this business. So we're obviously going to get a story there. We're going to get something there, which could end up being good because we know Sheldon can go. We know Cedric can go. We'll see how it looks.
I'd love to see it on pay-per-view, but I have a feeling that they're not going to make the cut as far as that goes.
Where's that going on? Next week, or is it going on Backlash, you think? WrestleMania Backlash?
No, that's what I'm saying. I would have loved to have seen the two of them have a chance to work the pay-per-view, but I'm going to guess that won't make the cut where everything has to be dual brand now on the pay-per-views. So it would have been a nice spot for them to work the pay-per-view, but I just don't see it.
100%. From there, we got Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Angel's beating the crap out of Gulak early. Back and forth match. Becomes a back and forth match. Garza ends up winning by pinfall. At the end, Garza picks up the rose, puts it in Garza's tight, and then kicks him right in the ass just to prove that he's going to put it up his butt. Decent match. But the thing about this is that why do they have Angel Garza doing this kiddie crap? Like, you got so much talent right there. I don't know, man. What do you think?
I just thought it's great to see him back on TV when he vanished for months on end. I think it's good that he's working his way from the bottom of the roster all the way up, I guess is maybe the way to look at it. I don't think you could go much lower on the roster than Drew Gulak.
You know what it shows too?
What's that?
You know what it shows too? Is it like back in the day when you had Eddie doing this, you remember walking over the shot, you look forward to that like it was good. You knew you were going to get something. Here he does it. You're like, come on, please.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
then
saying?
He's chasing around Nia Jax. I mean, come on.
It's just not the same feeling. Like, God, there's so much more you can do with him, and they're doing this. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, like I've said before, I would be grooming him for a top spot over the next year or two. He's got great charisma. He's got a good look. He's solid in the ring. I mean, that's exactly what you look for in a heel. His promos aren't bad. I believe he's Mexican or Spanish speaking. So he's someone I would go with. And like I said, instead of throwing him out there with the main eventer to get his ass kicked, have him work the bottom of the card for a while. Send him in there next week with Tozawa or some of the other undercard guys. Have him some credibility with some wins over people, and then build them up, into the mid-card and just keep going and see how far it goes until, either the fans come back to the arenas and they don't like it, or maybe they do have the next superstar on their hand that I think he has the potential to be.
Right on. I totally agree. You know what I was thinking about too is, where did the 20, I know you don't care about it, but like, where did the 24/7 title go? Where's all that? Like, they were using it and then they just don't do it anymore, which is fine. But what I'm saying is, they just get rid of stuff. They don't even like tell you anything about it. It's just gone.
Truth still has it at Tropicana Field.
You know what I mean, though?
He's hiding with it. He doesn't want anyone to find him.
It just bothers me that they just write off stuff. They never give no, you know what I mean? They don't give no completion to it.
Does Raw Underground still happen, even though we don't see it on TV?
Right, exactly. That's another thing.
Is the disco music in the mist still playing each week?
Probably. We have Riddle riding around the scooter backstage, runs into the Viking Raiders, basically asks them about being a Viking and a Raider, and they're like, but I bet you get a lot of chicks like that. And Todd Hansen, or what do they call him?
Ivar.
Yeah, Ivar smiles and likes that compliment. He keeps on riding it, and then he runs into Randy. Randy says, let's go out there and win another one this week. And then he tries to do some funny stuff, and he tells him to zip his lips, give him the key. You know what? Whatever. Kitty cat bullshit, but what are you going to do?
Waste of time.
There you go. Randy Orton and Riddle versus Elias and Reichner happened. Obviously, because of the tomatoes and crap, we know what happened earlier in the night. Good match, back and forth. Good tag work by both teams. Riddle pins Elias for the 3 count. Wasn't long. It was just, it was a decent match. I don't know what you thought of it. I know what you think of all of the kitty stuff and waste of time, but what do you think of the match?
I was embarrassed for Randy Orton to even have his time wasted involved in any of this garbage. I guess it's going to be a waste of time until Orton turns on Riddle. To me, it's just a matter of when. My thoughts. I don't like Elias. I don't like Riker. Just bored with it.
You know what else I was thinking too is, like, you have all these matches. Having the brands is kind of bad, because back in the day, you could at least have Randy going for like an IC title, or you had something like that. You can't do that now because he's on Raw. Like, you have Randy doing this crap. You know what I mean? Before, you could have like a random Intercontinental title match and be like, okay, he's in a match that means something. No, instead he's in this tag match with a guy riding around a scooter, guys throwing tomatoes. It's like, what's going on?
Well, the problem is, if they went back to having the guys on both shows, you'd see the top superstars on TV twice a week, and you'd be even more bored with it.
See, I don't know. I just
every time they go dual brand, you see the same thing on 2 shows.
It's just so hard because, like you said, you see Randy Orton just getting wasted doing this stuff, and it's.
Well, I mean, when he turns on Riddle, that has the potential to be a good little series of matches. If they can shy away from Riddle acting like a 6-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. We do it like, I wanted to do it like by hour this week. That was the second hour.
That pretty much wrapped up hour number 2.
Any better than the first hour? You guys let us know in the chat. I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was the same, just enough to get you through the hour, but nothing that goes, oh, wow, let me watch the third hour. Well, I don't know. What
I tell you this, the match itself was not much to write home about, to say the very least. I know a lot of the fans were so bored with it, they went on over to the eBay store to check out the great merchandise that we have available with superstars of every era, autographed merchandise, WWE official T-shirts, lots of great stuff we have, original art prints from the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, some just great collectibles. And again, every purchase in the eBay store, it helps the show a great deal. You get an on-air shout-out from one of the featured superstars on the show. That helps an awful lot. And you're helping keep Wrestling Legends working. So again, head on over to bostonwrestling.com. Simply click the store button. It'll take you right there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can find the eBay link in the description box below. I will not attempt to share the eBay link because it's probably something like ebay.com/AI249766. You know what I mean? So that's a little much. I know we have great fans and very intelligent fans, as Sheiky Baby would say, but even that would be a bit much for them to remember.
Right on. Just go into the eBay and type in what's the Memories and Legends?
Yes, but as a matter of fact, that is the name of the eBay store.
Just all you have to do is type that in your search bar, and that store will pop up, and you just buy away. Buy a lot of good stuff. I've been looking at it. Ton of good stuff. You won't be disappointed.
Unbelievable.
Moving right along, we get a Drew promo, the big exclusive interview that they've been building up all night. Doesn't care about who wins tonight. He's going to cave both their heads in. Braun shows up. I get it. You don't think I just belong in this match, but I earned it by beating you last week. They look at each other. They stare at each other. They're very angry. They get off. We come back. We have another match. Well, go ahead. You can talk about that if you anything about the promo.
It was just a waste of time. It didn't add anything. We knew the match was coming. We knew the participants. It felt like more filler as opposed to something I was supposed to be interested in.
Right on. From there, we get the match, Sheamus versus Mansoor. Sheamus getting early offense in at first. Mansoor then gets a little bit of offense in. Before the match can even get done or even get really going, Humberto comes in, interferes in the match, and just beats on Sheamus. Sheamus ends up getting in there, though, which I don't know why they wouldn't let just Humberto get in there and maybe take the upper hand in this one. No. Sheamus comes in and just bro kicks everybody. And that's how they did it. I don't know. I just feel like, why not give somebody a push or something? Whatever. Nothing. From there, we get your favorite segment of the night. We get Alexa's Funhouse. Lily is having a lot of fun. And her favorite color is red.
Shit. This is a fact I really needed to know. My favorite color is blue, Lily.
Oh, nice. Every time Lily's around, trouble seems to follow. Alexa says, don't blame me what happens next. And she starts laughing and, whatever. Who knows where this is going? I don't know. I don't really care.
I've had enough of it. I mean, they've castrated the Fiend for this foolishness.
From there, we get the Raw Women's Tag Team title match. Lana and Naomi versus Nia and Shayna, and with Reginald. Quick match. Shayna submits Lana. Not much to say about it. They did it really quick, which was probably good. What did you think
of that tag team match?
Yes, sir.
For the 8,212th time in 2021?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
I
would like to have seen AEW attempt to have the landmines go off during that one.
There you go. Well, guess what? We're backstage again. MVP with Bobby. MVP starts talking about Bobby and says he's the most dominant bull in this match, and he will show why he's the WWE Champion come WrestleMania Backlash. So, another shot. They really want to put over this WrestleMania Backlash. I mean, come on. From there, we get the main event, which is Bobby with MVP versus Braun Strowman. Drew comes out during the match. Drew ends up being on commentary. It was a big man match. Definitely hard-hitting, some big power moves. Braun ends up running into Drew while he's at the commentary table. Sorry about that. Drew ends up distracting Braun as he's trying to get back in the ring, which causes Bobby to spear Braun and pin him for the 3 count. Drew gets the Claymore kick on Braun and then Bobby. And then right after that, they show a little visual thing that says, next week, we're going to get Drew versus Bobby. Just for a match.
Wow.
Coin toss didn't even matter anymore. I don't even understand. Don't do that right now. Don't do that. You just told us the coin toss meant something. Now you said it doesn't because of that.
Yep.
I don't know.
As the show, if you were dumb enough to sit through the 3 hours of the show, they made you feel like a bigger idiot in the final 2 seconds.
Right. Exactly. And I don't do that to us. You kidding me?
No, it's just the match itself was fine. I think Bobby and Braun have good chemistry together. I like the feud they had a couple of years ago. I think I told you the story. I don't know. You must have been in Florida, but at the pay-per-view, they worked where they put me right in front of the gimmick spot where Braun power slammed Bobby through, I don't even know what it was supposed to be, part of the stage setting, I guess, which I had a little cool video of on my cell phone. But, the McIntyre thing, I told you, I continue to lose interest in him more and more each week. Those losses killed him, and they've done nothing to build him back up again of anything important. I'm glad he didn't win the title at WrestleMania and end Bobby's reign. I'd like to see Bobby have a nice run until we get to the point where we could potentially have Lashley Lesnar. That's the match I've wanted to see for a long time, and hopefully they'll get to it before Lashley's reign comes to an end, or they just have him lose it to someone to win it back again, which doesn't help. It only hurts, but that's typical WWE, which is why the popularity levels of the company are where they are right now, which if you look at ratings and merchandise and licensing and all those types of things, flushing down the toilet. They are lucky that Peacock came to save the day for WWE Network, because I have a feeling as life was coming back to normal, those numbers were going to continue to go down, much like all streaming services. Thankfully for us as stockholders, the WWE Network numbers did go up a little bit during Corona times, but, as life becomes more a normal thing, now it's Peacock's problem to worry about for the next 5 years, how many people tune in, tune out, and so on and so forth. But
Right on. I gave Raw this week a 4 out of 10.
Wow, we tied again.
I did not enjoy it really. I mean, there was a few things, but mostly it was just, when is it going to be over? And when it feels like that, I hate it, because I just love wrestling and I love Monday Night Raw, and I'm a huge WWE guy, and this one just wasn't for me.
It's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That was awesome.
That's what it is. That's what it feels like. I mean, and why watch it if it's the same? Yeah, if it was only on once a month, if I was the type of person that maybe only tuned in for pay-per-views, maybe it wouldn't bother me as much. But you'd like to think that WWE wants its fans to watch every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. When we do our shows, I want the fans to tune in every week, much like we hope they do tonight at 10 p.m. for the return of WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas with his in-depth look at WWF from 1984 to 1986. We want the fans to tune in every Tuesday night at 10.
Absolutely. But hey, we haven't really talked about any news. You want to talk about some news real quick?
Sure.
All right. So the first thing I seen was we were just talking about John Laurinaitis. Did you see who replaced him?
Who replaced who?
John Laurinaitis had his lead producer.
Oh, I see what you mean. Are you referring to Jason Jordan?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that.
What do you think?
You know what? I don't know him personally. I thought he had great potential to be not just a top-tier guy, but a WrestleMania main eventer for them before his neck injury took over. But you know what? Good for him. If he's good at the job, great. If they're trying to give some fresh blood a chance at a job like that, that can be good too. Maybe he can help freshen up the product. He's a younger guy. I believe he's only in his early 30s. Sometimes a young perspective isn't the worst thing in the world. So I'm anxious to see if anything comes of it, good or bad. In the end of the day, I think it'll probably have about, honestly, as much meaning as John Laurinaitis did. At the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon's call on most things.
Right on.
But good for him. I'm happy for him as a person.
Right on. And then I seen that WWE's reportedly in talks with working with MLW, getting some of their talent, maybe putting their show on the network and stuff. I thought that was kind of interesting, because usually WWE doesn't usually branch out like that, especially where MLW has their own TV deal and everything. I don't know. What did you make of that?
I think we should invite them to Memorial Hall in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, 02176 on Saturday night, November the 13th, for our Back to the 80s 20th anniversary event. Maybe they'll want to throw us on the network.
Right on. But what did you think of that?
It certainly doesn't hurt. MLW, I think, is, they have a good core of talent there. It's just, I think they run into the problem of how much wrestling does one have enough time to see every week? You know what I mean? Between all of the WWE shows and AEW and Impact and Ring of Honor, if you can find Ring of Honor, and
sir.
I don't know, is NWA back running again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, please, but anyway, it's just there's a lot of different companies out there. It almost seems I don't know where they're getting all these wrestlers from. I think my worry is that it's going to hurt the independents as the independents come back to life, but that remains to be seen as well. But as far as WWE, I think it's good for them to have partnerships. I think TNA or Impact would have been a good partnership for them, where they were having, not major relations, but, they were exchanging some footage and Hall of Fame things and so on and so forth. But now that Impact is in bed with AEW, that ship has sailed. I don't know if they just particularly don't care about Ring of Honor, but they don't seem to really care that much about them either. Maybe MLW is so small but just big enough that they're the perfect fit for them. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Right on. And the only other thing that I want to talk about, but it's so late in the news, it's not really worth about it, but I just want to get what you thought about all the women getting their stuff in trash bags.
I think it just came across the wrong way. And I'll say this, I have received dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of packages from WWE over the year at home and here at the studio. And nothing has ever been packaged in a garbage bag. But my thought is, I don't think anyone meant it as a direct insult. My guess is it was a poor, cheap attempt at having maybe some insulation between the items and the box itself, in case they bounced around or something like that. Now, you could say a publicly traded company, could they have afforded some bubble wrap?
That's what I was.
You know what I mean? You could say that, but I'm going to guess that's what it was. I don't think there was any malice or disrespect intended behind it. I just think it was kind of a dumb move because it made them look awfully bad when Mickie James' photo surfaced. When someone loses their job, it's something they've worked their entire life to try and get to, show a little sensitivity, But I don't think anyone sat there and said, oh, you know what, we're really going to fuck with them. Let's send them their belongings in garbage bags. You know how WWE can be. If they want to put out a hit, so to speak, on someone they dislike, they're going to do it in a much bigger way than sending someone their ring gear in a garbage bag in a box.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just didn't know. I don't know. And then you see that guy, what's his name, gets, fired. Did he have anything to do with it? Mark Carano?
I couldn't even see someone like him involved in the decision-making process on how you're going to box Mickie James' boots. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe they were looking for a fall guy, and it just happened to be him.
Yeah, but he's been with WWE for a long time.
Forever.
So that's what I mean.
And there has been a big shakeup since Nick Khan took over as the president of the company. Maybe they were looking for a reason to chop off a few heads and let them roll. I don't know. I know one of the few people, I'm not even going to say the name, but one of the few people I have ever met in that company that I not just dislike but truly hate got released. And the petty part of me was happy. You hate to see anybody lose a job, especially if they have kids, but he's just a real asshole, and I was glad that he was sent packing. It wasn't Mark Carano. It was someone else within the organization. As has been, a lot of releases. Not only did you have the 10 wrestling bodies that were eliminated after WrestleMania, but you had some people in the corporate structure as well.
Right on. I don't know, man.
So maybe Nick Khan has ideas for people. Maybe, again, speculation, not a fact, nothing I heard from anyone. Maybe Johnny Ace had people he wanted to put in place, and it did not fit in with what his vision of talent relations should be. I don't know. Speculation. I don't think that the man that everyone blasted online was the one that was responsible for the boots being packaged in hefty trash bags. I don't know that to be fact, But I just don't see that as a decision, that being a priority that would be presented to him. How do we send the talent back their stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I don't know. I just feel like this whole wrestling thing's been crazy lately.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's a time of change in WWE, and Vince McMahon seems to be happy about it, according to his speech that he made during the quarterly meeting. So who knows? Maybe the shakeup will be for the best. I know the new president, Nick Khan, is very well-spoken, a very articulate, intelligent man. I think they made a very bad decision in his former life, where he was the agent representative, so to speak, of Adnan Virk, to bring him in to the company with no prior experience or even interest or ever watching wrestling. But that's a different story for a different time. But I think, Nick Khan on paper seems like to be a really good fit, as opposed to the George Barrioses and the Michelle Wilsons that were let go.
Right on. I agree. I can't. Nothing else. I don't have no more news. Nothing. I just wanted to go over that with you because we hadn't talked about it.
All right, wrestling fans, we are running out of time. Again, 10 p.m. We'll be back with the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, at your house classics. This one is a doozy. Tony looks at 1984 to 1986 in the World Wrestling Federation. If you enjoyed this show, fans, and you're watching the premiere, don't forget the gray little $sign button, the Super Chat button, is open for business. Every single dollar helps in helping us grow the show. Again, we're going to be live this Saturday night with the ECW legend New Jack. Make your plans to join us now. And then next Sunday night, it's WrestleMania Backlash. We're going to have a great pay-per-view watch-along party. From what I understand, Dave, our Wheel of Fortune is going to be back out. We have a little cool prize we may have that we're putting up for fans to win on the wheel. And of course, if you support the wheel, it means you support the show, because we got to keep the wheel spinning, baby. And we're not just talking about that one that we have out on the set that we have to be very delicate with. His pieces of it just go flying. But again, that's a different story for a different time. Again, Dave and I both gave Raw 4 out of 10. If you're watching the premiere, let us know what you thought in the premiere chat, or if you're watching after the fact, in the comment section below. For my partner in crime, longtime Boston Wrestling MWF associate Dave Carter, who is counting down the days to our return to Memorial Hall on Saturday night, November the 13th. I am Dan Mirade. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours be well. We'll see you at 10 o'clock with Tony Atlas. The World Wrestling Federation was live, returning to the Pittsburgh Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of Maria Davis, after a 3-year absence, Friday, May the 4th, 1990. In the opening contest, Hillbilly Jim beat Bob Bradley. Model Rick Martel with the win over Hercules. WWF Tag Team Champions Demolition battled the Hart Foundation to a double disqualification. Haku defeated the Red Rooster. Brutus Beefcake victorious over the Genius. Paul Roma beat Playboy Buddy Rose. And in the main event, Earthquake with the win over Hacksaw Jim Duggan. If you were in Pittsburgh live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service, so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Mirade.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
At WrestleMania 37, she defeated Asuka to become the new Raw Women's Champion, and here is your chance to own a piece of Rhea Ripley on this beautiful limited edition autographed 11x14 poster direct from friends at WWE. Number 50 of only 50 made, includes WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Suitable for framing and matting, you'll also receive a bonus Legends autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air thank you on Wrestling Insiders as our thanks for helping keep Wrestling Legends working. Get this ultra-rare Rhea Ripley autograph poster now.